What's up guys, this is Blair with MwCustoms. I'm going to show you our brand new shop.
Told them pipe down, I don't care what's next, I need it right now. And I got it numbers going stupid like they dropped out. What they think they doing, I don't know, but we can find out.
So over here we got our shipping area. This is where UPS, FedEx, and USPS will pick up every single day. We have designated signs for them. Then over here is our receiving area. So when UPS, FedEx, any shipping company drops off, they put everything right here. Then we go through and label it and stuff for paint. Over here, we have our shipping crates. If you order a custom grill, we try to put in those, but sometimes UPS hates us because it's about 175 pounds and I wouldn't want to be the one delivering that. So that's that. Over here, we have our fancy floor scrubber. we make sure we try to keep this shop clean and organized because, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to deliver a nice quality product and you can't do that in a messy shop. So I'm very OCD when it comes to how things look, I guess you could say. So this shop area is a 70 by 120, 7,700 square feet. So our last shop was 2,500 square feet. So you can just the difference alone in this area is, I mean, it's crazy. And when we started this business in 2014, I was doing it in an apartment. So it's just, 10 years in the making, it's kind of coming full circle, I guess you could say. So this is new skid steer. We bought that just to do stuff around the property. Did I need it? Probably not, but we have it. So this is actually my personal truck. It kind of just stays inside and doesn't move. It's just something, I don't know, it's my pride and joy. It sits there, it kind of defines what we do, and that's that. Over here, we kind of have my kids' toys. These wheels don't spin, unfortunately. I've tried to tell them they need to make spinners, but they don't. So that's just, we try to make a family environment. I want my kids to be able to come out here and enjoy everything we've worked for. You might see kids' toys laying around, but that's just kind of how we want it. We want everybody to feel welcome, and we don't want it to feel like it's a work environment. We want it to be a family environment where everybody can, come to work and have fun and enjoy what they do. Over here, we have our brand new 12,000 pound lift from Halo Lift. We have a GMC Acadia on there right now. It's getting a lowering kit, custom headlights and taillights, and some underglow. Over here, we have our toolboxes. I haven't had time to organize everything yet, so we got sticky tape on it, but whenever you guys stop ordering, JK, don't stop ordering, and I have time to finish this stuff, it will get done at some point. This is our end of 2025, 2026 show build. We're gonna take that to some shows. It's gonna go on a 10-inch striker lift kit. That should be in our next YouTube video, hopefully. So over here we have our hot water power washer. We try to wash and detail all the trucks. If you come in for a full build, you're gonna make sure your truck leaves detailed after it's done. This is kind of our workbench for the lifts and all the trucks we have come in. Over here we have our face plates for the F-250 build once it comes back from powder coat and stuff like that. So this is kind of our just work area. These are the shocks for the F-250 build. These things are pretty massive. So this kind of just says, this kind of just shows you the, the look we're going for on this truck. It's going to showcase everything that MwCustoms can do. Over here is our shipping desk. As you can see, it's kind of a mess right now, just with boxes and stuff like that. We do everything we can to protect your order when it ships. But unfortunately, we can't control how the delivery people handle your packages. So yes, it does get damaged in shipping sometimes. And, we do everything we can to make that right if it does happen. And over here is our paint cart. So when stuff comes back from paint, it goes on a cart. As you can see, we've got a nice ruby red F-150 headlight here. Over here, we have some 15 to 19 Silverado HD headlights. We try to keep everything as organized as we can. All right, then over here we have all of our rock lights. underglow, splitters, wire extensions, anything you may ever need for underglow, we have it right here. Over here, we have a washer and dryer. We try to wash, you know, microfibers and stuff like that, sink. That's kind of our, not junk area, but kind of where we keep all the BS stuff. Over here is all the third brake lights that we have at paint currently. It comes in, we label it for paint, then it goes off the paint, then it comes back and we put it in the box and ship it out once your tail lights are ready to ship. Headlight bulbs, turn signal bulbs, stuff like that. We have our custom fancy packaging. These are all made in the USA, nothing from China here. Black Friday coming up, we're gonna start stocking back up on our inventory and, you know, getting things where they need to be before the big sale. So up here is a lot of junk. As in junk, it's parts that we've broken trying to open headlights and taillights. And a lot of people try to do this themselves. And I promise you, I've probably spent $500,000 in broken parts over the last 5 years. You're opening something that's not supposed to be done. As you can see, we got boxes full of broken lights. This is a 2025 F-250 headlight. Costs about $3 grand. And it's broken. And that came out of our pocket. All right, so this is where all the money's made, right in here. This is the build room. So in here, this is where we build headlights, tail lights, we reassemble everything, we do the door handles, we clean everything, we test everything, everything's done in here. In here is inventory for more LEDs that we use for the door handles. And here is our seal room and kind of like our dust room. So anything that's dirty is gonna get done in here. Like I said earlier, I'm OCD and I like my shit clean. So we made this separate room just to keep everything in here. We got an exhaust fan in here so it sucks everything out. Here's a set of headlights that just got sealed. The silicone's all wet, so I'm not gonna touch it. But you can see the nice clean lines that we do on everything. Then over here we have clamps that we clamp the headlights and taillights together once it's sealed. Then over here we have boxes that we keep all the components in, instead of leaving them in the tail light to get beat up and stuff like that while your parts are at paint. Then this is our standard workbench. We invested in these probably 2 years ago. The guys have everything they need right here. They don't have to leave, they don't have to get up. They have all the components that they may ever need, wires, screws, bolts, whatever. And they each ran about $2,500 a piece and we got 4 of them. Here it looks professional. Before this, we were just working on homemade 2x4 tables, you know, so we invested in them. We wanted to make things look nice, and that's what we did. Over here is our whiteboard. So we kind of put rush orders on here, stuff that's waiting on parts, then went back to paint. This is how many builds they get done per day. We try to get 3 to 4 builds done a day, but that kind of just depends on how much work goes into it. Because one day you may have a headlight that gets 3 or 4 different type of LEDs, and that's gonna take all day. And in here is the guy's favorite place. They really like this bathroom. I don't know why, but they do. They spend a lot of time in it. I don't know if it's because they go out to lunch every day or what it is, but they really enjoy this bathroom. So I'm glad I made a bathroom in here, because at the last shop, we only had 1 bathroom for 4 guys. And you can imagine how that works. Then over here, my state-of-the-art ovens. They're the nicest ovens you've ever seen. Take a look in here. You can see how much nasty stuff is in there just from doing headlights and taillights. I had these in my house at one point, and I don't recommend that. Sometimes people ask us to color match powder coat to paint. It's always going to be a little bit different, but we bought the swatch cards to try to match everything as close as we can. Again, it's always going to be a little bit different because it's powder coat versus paint, but we do our best to try to get everything to match perfectly. All right, guys, so this is the end of the shop tour. I'm going to go get my wife. She's in the office working, show you guys the office together, because if it wasn't for her, you know, I wouldn't be able to do everything I'm doing. And this is my wife, Alexis, in our office.
Hi.
So she's going to show you guys around the office area. Yes. And kind of tell you guys about this place and everything we've done.
Hi guys, I'm Alexis. This is the office portion of our shop. This is my office in here, if you want to take a look. We did do it a little bit extra nice, you could say. We know that we're going to have this place forever, and we're here a lot, and we work all the time, obviously. This is my husband's office, and he has the biggest office, of course. No, but he does. He deserves every bit of it. He works a lot. Giant desk. This was something that he asked specifically for. Out here, actually right behind you, we will show you the bathroom. So this is the bathroom. We did do a walk-in shower just in case that we're here on the weekends, which we have been. So that's super nice if we're just gonna hang out here for a weekend or something. Right over here is our production manager's office. His name's Ian, and he helps a lot of you, I'm sure, with customer service calls and things like that. But this is his office. We tried to make it as homey and nice as possible for him as well. We love Ian. Kind of the main portion of the office, it looks like a living room, which is how we purposely did it. But also if customers ever come and want to hang out in here while we're building trucks, whatever, they have a nice place to rest as well. We have a TV. We love the fireplace that we put in right over there on that wall. And yeah, and right in here, it's not much of a bedroom area, but we have a little makeshift bed in there.
I like to take naps after lunch.
Okay.
I get a little tired, so I go in there and sleep. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
My phone doesn't stop ringing, so I can't ever relax.
There's no napping. And so right in here is the playroom that I was referring to. Our girls are also here a lot while we're working late, while we're building a truck on the weekend, whatever. So we made them a little room that they can take naps, they can play and be home too. So right in here is my favorite part of the shop. It's the kitchen. Unfortunately, we haven't even made one meal in here, which is embarrassing. This weekend, we have a chili feed, which we're super excited about after Halloween. We're gonna have our employees and family and close friends. So it'll be fun, and maybe it'll actually get cooked in. But this is our kitchen, and then we have a bathroom right over here to finish off the office. Yeah, this is just for anyone, customers, employees, us, anyone. So yeah, that's a little bit of the office.
All right, guys, so that wraps everything up for the shop. Again, this is a 70 by 120. I know a lot of people want to know that. I'm going to give you guys a little more details. So we did the galvanite. Okay, all right, so I'm going to give you guys a little more details. Some people want to know because we kind of built this whole shop off YouTube. We watched a bunch of videos. So like I said, this is a 70 by 120. The office is a 60 by 40. Then on the back patio, we have a 50 by 30 overhang with a bunch of concrete. You know, the guys can eat lunch, we can cook lunch, we can do whatever out there. So we finished out the shop completely on the inside. A lot of these pole barns type buildings you see, just, you know, the 2x4s and stuff like that. I wanted to look professional. I wanted to look nice. So we wrapped everything. It has steel. We did the two-tone with the galvanized and the black. Kind of ties everything in together. And the outside of the shop is all black. Looks sick. At some point, we're going to build more shops. We're going to put a paint booth in at some point in a separate shop. You know, that way we can kind of speed up the process and get you guys your orders faster and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd be glad to help you guys in any way we can.